Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight, it's round 2 of our American invasion for the V8 Radicals series. The cars were loaded on the trucks at Laguna Seca last week. They've now travelled over 5,500 miles, 86 hours on the road to get here for tonight's round at COTA, the Circuit of the Americas. As always, our broadcast is only possible thanks to our major sponsor, DSL Welding Services. Once again, it's great to have them on board for this series. The safety car is sponsored by the Promo Department. Big thanks to Dragonrc. So we have a big night ahead of us. Let me introduce my commentary partner, Chef Toddy. We're back.
G'day,
Chef.
legends. Much love. This is going to be awesome. What a track, eh? With these cars, it's going to be an awesome combination tonight, right?
It is going to be brilliant. I think out of all the cars that we're racing here at SRW, these are the cars that are going to be the most suited for this place. So we're really going to see, what this track was designed for. Remember, this was a purpose-built track for Formula One in America, right? It's a Grade 1 FIA circuit, home of Formula One and MotoGP as well. So both of those are in the picture there, buddy. So this should be tailor-made. Well, it should be tailor-made for these cars.
Yeah, most definitely. Interestingly enough, they'll be celebrating their 10 years of this circuit opening in July this year. So it was opened in July 2012, guys. So it's a very young track in the grand scheme of things. Probably not the youngest track in the F1 roster now, but definitely one of the younger tracks.
Well, just that purpose-built nature. I'm sure the guys that were driving in the NASCAR truck series last night at SRW, they will tell you how much of a handful this truck would have been for those big beastie things. But these radicals, mate, we're talking, less than 700 kilos, including driver.
And fluids and full fuel. Yeah,
that's right. And just a high downforce, screaming machine. Almost like a lawnmower on steroids with an aero package.
Oh, absolutely insane. And you say it's aero package, but really it's a front splitter and dual adjustable rear wing. That's really, you say that they have a lot of downforce, but in the grand scheme of things, they can get pretty flighty, as we could see at Laguna Seca last week, going over the corkscrew. You could see a bit of carnage going over the top of there and a few things, but we probably won't see as much here because this is such a lot more of a purpose-built track, as you were saying. Hey, Cowie?
Well, look, I think they had speed in mind when they designed this place. You think of it, the first corner, you climb up the hill to a 120-degree turn, where you've got to try and get the car stopped, and in this thing, you wouldn't want it floating over that. You've got to get a turn and down where you go through a sweeping section that effectively have got curbs that look like they came from hell if you hit them. Then you've got another elevation change as the climbs once again. You sweep over the back of the track. And it's one of those sections that I think, some of the times I've driven it here, they tend to cut it out with a little loop. So, and cut out sort of that middle section of the track. So it's the full track here tonight for these boys. So we'll be testing them completely. And then it sweeps back over the hill, fast left-hander before more heavy braking zones, a sharp 90-degree turn, back onto the back straight, and then you making further tight turns through the corners, couple of left-handers before you come onto the pit straight. Yeah, mate, a crazy track.
Absolutely crazy track. And as we were just watching just before is, as you just come over the hill there, how much elevation, and really put into perspective that camera view in Matty Jones's car there, how much of an elevation, how it looks like the track goes straight up. It's just a wall of track really from that camera angle. So it really puts into perspective what these guys have got to battle with.
You can see the sharpness and harshness of those yellow curbs here from the splitter cam, and Matty actually clipped one of them then. We're on board with Matty Jones at the moment. He set our qualifying pole position last round, had a bit of wheel spin off the line, and managed to chase his way back up and finish second behind our round 1 winner, Scott Callahan. So at the moment, he is at the top of the tree at the moment, into the 158s already.
Very, very nicely done. And I think you were saying, Cowie, that last week's qualifying time was an unofficial world record, essentially.
Mate,
Around there. Pretty crazy.
2/10 under the world record. Stay tuned, everyone. We have a segment coming out soon, Cowie's Corner, where you will get to meet and I'll have a little chat with the man, and we'll see what Matty's been up to and where he's going.
Yep, fantastic. And we've got a pretty moderate track today. We're at 23 degrees Celsius. Track temperature, 63 degrees humidity, partly cloudy, 19-kilometre wind. And Cowie we having a chat about the wind, and depending on what direction it's coming, hey Cowie? You were saying, is it the first hairpin, the head?
Yeah, I don't think you'd want too much of a tailwind coming up the hill there, buddy. You know, you wouldn't want the rear of the car to get light. But again, it is an uphill braking area. We're about to sort of see Matty. Who's that? No, Steve Brown coming through to start a new lap. You can just see the steep incline there. That angle makes it look like you're going up a cliff, doesn't it?
It does. Look at that. That's craziness. You wouldn't even want to run up that hill, let alone, you know. You'd be lucky you're in a car. Oh! Is he just showing off for us a little bit?
Maybe that tailwind there, buddy.
Oh, that could be, you know. And that's what we were saying earlier, is that, you know, if you've got that tailwind, a lot of that downforce that you got in that car is from that rear wing. And if it's all pushing and these things are a bit sketchy under brakes in the first place, if you're not mindful of it, you can lock them up pretty easily. So it's going to make it a lot easier to lock up if you've got a pretty strong tailwind. 19 kilometres, it doesn't sound like much, but in these cars, only under 700 kilograms with the driver in it, it's pretty hairy.
Yeah, you wouldn't want a bloody blower on wrongly, you know. I think it'd settle in a slight breeze. Now, before we go any further, we'll do a shout out to our producer, Nathan Shibby Howard, who's given us these awesome shots. I wanted to say it right at the end there, but I wasn't going to interrupt you, Toddy, so it's all good.
But we got caught up in awesomeness.
Oh, it was a great shot, buddy. You know, going up the hill, that was a perfect time, mate. Awesome shot. But we can see, having a look at Stephen Callahan here, he's running up in 4th at the moment. So haven't seen Scott. We'll have to see if Scott's actually on the grid tonight.
Scotty Callahan?
Yeah, he hasn't jumped into the session as yet, Scott. So
yeah, nice.
Round 1 winner is suspiciously vacant at the moment. So we'll have to see what happens there. The guys do still have some time to get into the server.
And they do have a drop round also, so it might have, life does get in the way sometimes, so we do understand, guys.
It certainly does. It certainly does. And, you know, real life, you know, I know we don't like to say it, we're playing a simulation here, but, and there is some pretty big money in esports, but there's quite a few of us out there that get to do this for a living. So, yeah, real life, one of those problems I suppose we've always got to deal with.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's a great cool looking livery actually. Pretty old school, you know, with the yellow and the sort of brown and the reds and stuff like that. But harking back to some of the old school sort of hot rod sort of styles they used to have back in the 70s and stuff for a lot of the Formula One cars and stuff like that even.
Got a shiny spec map on that too, Nathan Burnley there.
Yeah, he's
one of the locked on lads there.
Beautiful driving. And he's had some great improvements last season. So, and he had a bit of a surge. He had a couple of incidents last week. I think he got caught up in the melee a little bit, but he did have a good comeback towards the end of the race there. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do tonight. His best time at the moment is 2 minutes. So it's just over 2 minutes. So 2.2 minutes, 0.6. So it's not a bad time, but I'm sure he'll.
Well, we had our Shibby producer out there on the track doing some test rounds before. Everything was having some fun out there on the track, buddy. But yeah, these guys, I mean, getting down near the 2 minute flat, that's a fairly insane time with this track, these cars.
It is very, very insane. I don't have much experience in these radicals. I won't even talk about how bad my time is, to be honest, in these things. I find these quite difficult, but they are teaching me a lot, especially around a track like this. I think.
Great car. They're a great car to drive. Lots of fun, but they're sort of one of those cars that it sucks you in. How much grip you actually get once you get the tyres up to temp. you start to think, you know, this thing has got amazing grip.
Pulse and
You start to
security,
throw it
yeah.
in, and you end up just throwing it in just that little bit too hard. And yeah, I raced in season 1 of the Radicals, the sort of split season we were doing with the F3s one week, the Radicals the other week. And yeah, I managed to, I think, spin in almost every race. One race I didn't spin in. So it just goes to
But
show
you
you
always had
it's
good
so easy.
comebacks, Cowie, so
Oh,
that was amazing.
look, all right, well, looks like we're having some issues, guys, with the stream is a bit jittery. Guys, jump on the comments if you're seeing anything. Just let us know if the stream is coming through nice and clear.
And we might have to restart for the race, guys.
Yeah, look,
So
I think we're
apologies.
going to try and get this restarted before the race, guys. So stay tuned out there in SRW TV land. We will be back.
That's all, legends. See you soon.